From the Oklahoma Newsroom, I'm Jenny Carlson here with Tim Brassfield, Executive Director of Oklahoma City's All Sports Association. And Tim, I can't believe we got you to sit down this week. It's a bit of a busy week with that women's basketball regional.
It is. It's a great week for Oklahoma City. We're very excited to be here, and thanks for taking the time to meet with us.
Sure. Well, let's talk a little bit about this regional. This kind of continues an amazing run of events that we've seen here in Oklahoma City, even in just, the last few months. Talk a little bit about that and just how crazy and exciting, I guess, this has been for Oklahoma City.
Absolutely, and it is exciting because this will be the fourth time in 8 years we'll have hosted this. We were just awarded 2017 for this same event, the women's regional, so that'll be 5 in 10 years, and there aren't many cities who can say that. So we're doing something right. Mm-hmm. It takes all parties, takes our Chamber of Commerce, takes our CVB, it takes all of our corporate partners, takes you guys, takes the media, making sure that people know this event's in town. So there's a lot of positives that come together to make this happen. And so it's a big partnership, and Oklahoma City's doing it right, and we need to do our part and make sure we give back to the NCAA when they come to town.
Well, volleyball was here not too long ago. Obviously, softball has made a home here, but it seems like Oklahoma City, when it comes to these basketball regionals, is in the rotation. It's just, you mentioned 17, it just seems like every 3 or 4 years we roll around to get another one, whether it's women's or men's or both.
Yeah, and that's because we've got a history, and a history not only of supporting it, we have a great history of great games here that take place, and of course the local programs being strong help, and I think college basketball and women's athletics in Oklahoma are just a positive thing, and I think people attend them and they go out and they support it, and as long as we keep doing that, I think they'll keep rotating through our city. Yeah,
you talk about those exciting games. We've dubbed it Cinderella City, and it seems like whether it's men's, women's, whatever, the last time the women were here, we obviously had the Baylor knockoff. Louisville came through that regional. Should we be warning, like Notre Dame and Baylor, that this is maybe problematic for them?
Yeah, that's one of my fun memories, funny memories. I'm not making fun of her, but when Coach Mulkey was trying to get her jacket off and couldn't get it off, and she was so angry, and she's so animated, and of course she's here again this week, so you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, you don't. Well, what do we know that fans can expect? Talk a little bit about, I mean, people know, obviously, this event. They've kind of become used to it coming, but beyond the games themselves, which we can't predict, what can we tell fans about what they can expect from this event?
Well, I think we'll have a large out-of-town contingent here, obviously. There'll be a lot of people that come to our state for the very first time, and I think they'll be overwhelmed with what they see in our community, because Oklahoma City is not Oklahoma City that a lot of people think it is or that it used to be, and our community has grown so much with so many assets right around our arena. That's the first. I think they'll when they get here, they'll love the fact that they can walk to the arena, that they can walk to the restaurants, that they can do all the things that we've kind of gotten used to and that we're spoiled by. Just talking to a guy that came back from the wrestling championship in St. Louis, they didn't have that there. They were walking. He was walking 2 miles a day to get to the arena. Where, as you know, when we had it back in March, it was very convenient. So all that to say, I think people can expect a great city. A city that's easy to move around in, and a city that is welcome and friendly. Again, things that we all know. And not only that, they'll be able to see some great basketball with it here as well. We have 2 teams ranked in the top 5 here. All 4 teams are ranked in the top 20. So a pretty significant championship we'll be a part of here.
Yeah, definitely. Notre Dame and Baylor, those top 2 teams, and then obviously Iowa in as a 3 seed, and Stanford, a team that upended Oklahoma, which would have given some local flair. But at the same time, Baylor travels really well, and I suspect there'll be some big-time fans coming from a lot of different places here.
Yeah, we think so, and I think one of the things, as I mentioned before, the fact that we bring a lot of fans to these events that come from out of state. Great for our economy, great for our tourism, because they usually come back. Once people come into Oklahoma City, they love it, and they'll make a return visit. But the basketball will be off the charts. We know that. And I might add, not all of these are held in NBA arenas. An NBA arena is a special place, and there's none better than our Thunder Arena. So we're excited for them to get the opportunity to do that.
You talk about the fact that we have a track record hosting these. Talk a little bit about how how it is that Oklahoma City continues to get the bid process, because, you know, all these different events, all these different sports. What's selling Oklahoma City so well when it comes to the NCAA and continuing to give regionals to Oklahoma City?
Yeah, well, first and foremost, you mentioned it. It's a track record. We've got a history. We've supported them well in the past, and then not only that, it takes a group of experienced folks that are doing it. I'm going to pat ourselves on the back, and the All Sports Association has been doing this for 58 years. So that's a long time for a sports commission to be hosting things like this, and not all of them have the kind of experience we have here. So that in and of itself, and then you take a building like we have with extremely experienced people and a Convention and Visitors Bureau who support these events, get the hotels ready. All of this happens a year and 2 years out, just as far as the preparation. Sometimes bidding process will happen 5 and 6 years out. We are currently bidding or getting ready to bid for the Big 12 championships in basketball, women's and men's, as well as baseball. That is for 2017, 18, 19, and 20. So it all can be a long ways out there, and it all takes a lot of time and effort to make that happen.
Yeah, definitely so. And I'm sure that the fact that we continue to add downtown hotels and restaurants and just the scene, like you mentioned, the walkability for fans, that's got to be an additional bonus as you bid these sites for the future.
Yeah, and as you know, the weather is always like it
is
today. It's sunny.
Sunny and 80 in March, of course,
it's a fabulous day. And we got great weather this weekend coming up, so that's kind of fun too. But and we do have pretty darn good weather most of the time, so that helps. We're considered a southern location, and we're an easy travel city, so that helps as well. So I think that all comes together to make Oklahoma City a great site, and that's why they continue to return.
Lastly, I want to ask you a little bit about future, and Women's Final Four is something that when you look at other sites that are getting the Women's Final Four, it seems like Oklahoma City might be in that same sort of sweet spot for the NCAA. Is that something that might be on the future docket for Oklahoma City?
Yeah, absolutely. We'd love to do that. The challenge there is it requires a co-host, and you have to have a co-host anytime you do an event when you're a sports commission. A co-host meaning it's got to be an NCAA institution, either a university or a conference affiliation.
Big 12, OU, OSU.
Exactly. So if we do that, it will require OU and OSU to be involved in that. The Big 12, it's almost impossible to do an event that large out of the city you're in. So next time they're up, we'd love to be involved. We'd love to submit the bid, and sometimes that's a process of doing it once and getting your name on the page, and then the next time it comes around, you might be more of a serious candidate. So that, as well as bringing other events like a men's regional would make sense for our community. So those are some of the things we're looking at. I think we're capable of doing that as a community.
And I know, like with the volleyball coming, and wrestling has already come, but things like Frozen Four, women's Frozen Four, there's a lot of events that could potentially come to Oklahoma City someday.
Yeah, there are, and as we continue to grow, I think it's off the charts what we could possibly do. You know, we don't have a dome. And we won't have a dome in the foreseeable future.
Unless you're building one.
Unless I'm building one. So I think there are things that we can't do, such as a men's Final Four. That will never be an option. But pretty much anything else we can do here in our city.
Yeah. Okay, lastly, tell people how they can get tickets.
Yeah, thanks. The easiest thing is to go onto our website, okcallsports.org or ticketmaster.com or 1-800-745-3000, and the tickets are very affordable, $51 and $38. $51 are the center section, $38 is the rest of the lower bowl.
And that's for all three games.
That's for all 3 games. Right. So very affordable, and so we hope that people will come out and support this event.
And as we said,
so we can keep bringing them back.
Yeah, as we said, games in the past, you never know what you might see in an Oklahoma City basketball regional.
Right.
All right, thanks, Tim.
Thank you.
Hey, be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.